Hello everybody, my name is Warren Eaton, this is my wife Jenny. I am the owner of Latinesque Ballroom and Latin Dance in Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada. We are in a little bit of crazy times right now, so I've never really done a video like this before, but we're going to give it a try. I know a lot of my students were asking for some sort of online video that they can follow along with to supplement their dance classes, so we've decided to give it a shot. We're just using a basic iPad here and we've moved our furniture, so we're going to see what we can pull off here. I really hope everyone's doing well, and please feel free at the end of this video, reach out to me. We'll give you some contact information. Let me know about what you thought about the video, anything I can do better, anything that you want to know, maybe even some different videos that you might want me to upload while we're all stuck at home. So this first one that we're going to do is going to be our absolute fresh off the couch, which probably a lot of you are, salsa class. This is LA style salsa, so it's a little bit more linear, but it's not something that we do here in Kelowna mostly. And we're gonna give you an idea of what you can expect and just have some fun with some basic steps. All right, so here we go. This is a general overview of what you're gonna learn in this video. Okay, so that's just a general overview of what we're going to do. This is what I would consider the basic fundamental steps. Obviously, it's going to be a lot different depending on different instructors you speak to, but I found in my teaching, these are the best steps to give you all the basic ideas that you need to know in order to go on to some more interesting things later. Now, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do your steps on your own. So you don't need to be with a partner for this, and in fact, if you're home by yourself, the majority of what I'm going to show you can be done on your own, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in the future. But right now, it doesn't matter if you're going to be the leader or the follower, our footwork is identical. So what we're going to do is we're going to have everybody start with their left foot first. So what we're going to do is just going to turn around here like this. Okay, so I'm just going to put my back to the camera. Exactly what I do is exactly what you would do. So that basic step looks like this. I went forward and together, back and together. So what those are, we call those break steps. Okay, so what happens is with my left foot, I break forward onto my left, replace my weight to my right, then close my feet. At this point, I'll have my right foot free. I would go back on my right, replace my weight, close my feet. So you notice feet are always going to come together in the center. So I have forward and close, back and close. I never use the same foot twice. I'm going forward on my left foot, back on my right foot. So if I just do that again, I've got forward on the left, right foot, back on the right. Everything in salsa is small steps. Basically, shoulder width is a good idea. If I keep it underneath my body, I can control it a lot better, and then I can get that lovely hip action that we can talk about in a future video. But right now, everybody with your left foot, okay? So you've got some room. So we have forward and together, back and together. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, or quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. Yes? This is our basic step. Okay? So, a couple key things. Sometimes what happens is people don't fully commit their weight onto a step. So maybe this is you. We go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. This kind of an action. Yes? It's quite common. What you want to make sure is that you're actually transferring weight. So in the short term, I actually don't mind if people are a little bit more picky-uppy with their feet. Yes? What that does is it just shows me that you've fully transferred weight onto that foot. So when I step forwards, 1, I replace my weight with my right foot, 2, then I close my foot, 3. Same thing when I go back now with my right foot. Back, lift my front foot up a little bit, and then close. So I have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Yes? So hopefully that's going to solve that problem. So I want to make sure that I'm actually transferring weight. Okay? But even as I'm doing that, you'll notice my upper body really isn't moving too much. So although I'm transferring my weight, I'm not taking the whole body forwards, the whole body backwards together. Obviously that's going to take too long, looks too stiff. So my torso is pretty relaxed. This is going to encourage me to take smaller steps as well. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Good. Okay, step number 2, what I'm going to show you is going to be a side break. So our forward and backward, now we're going to go from left to right. So starting with the left foot, it looks like this. Side and close, side and close. Same idea. I'm always closing my feet on my slope. When I'm here, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. Now this step, people love to take too big a step. Sometimes we get real rocky kind of big actions. Keep it small. Yes, everything's going to be underneath the body. When I take a smaller step, I can actually get a bit of a hip action. If I take too big of a step, my hips actually can't move at all. So I keep it small, better a chance I can shake my booty. There we go. Okay, same idea. Starting with your left foot, everybody. 5, 6, side to side. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. Side and together, side and together. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, good. Okay, so if you're going to be following at any point, what's going to happen is the followers are going to start with the right foot. So leads always start with the left, followers always start with the right. But other than that, it's identical. So if I was to just start doing this, you wouldn't know which foot I started with. It wouldn't matter. Yes, and you'll see that later on when I bring Jenny back in and we'll explain that a little bit further. Okay, so we have our basic step, forwards and backwards. We have our side-to-side break steps. We're going to put those two together now. So I'm going to do 2 forward and backward, 2 side to side, and then we're going to repeat, and then we'll put some music on. Okay. Okay, everybody with your left foot. So we have forward and close, back, and that's 1. Forward and close, back, that's 2. Now side and close, that's 1. Side and close, that's 2. And now back to the basic step. And that's how we're going to repeat it, yes? Okay, little music. Okay, hopefully this is the right volume.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7.
I got the guy to say it for me.
3, 5, 6.
Starting with your left foot.
1, 2, 3,
Basic steps.
5, 6.
Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3.
Side to side.
7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3.
Back to
5,
basic.
6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3.
Side to side.
7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5,
Basic.
6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7.
And
1,
basic.
2, 3,
Good.
5, 6, 7. 1, 2.
Okay, wonderful. So that's our first 2 steps in our absolute beginner salsa. What we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next step. So my goal here is to show you all of the steps individually first, and then I'll bring Jenny back out, and then we'll show you how, if you have a partner, you can partner up and work on that, yes? But all of these steps can be done, practiced on your own, which is great. As you can see, I'm in my living room. We've just kind of shoved things to the side, so it doesn't take an awful lot of room to do these types of things, yes? Okay, all right. Next step I'm going to introduce to you is called back and back. So basically it's saying exactly what we're doing. I'm going to go back and back instead of forwards and backwards. So I'll demonstrate. I have back and together, back and together. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. So instead of going 1 forward and 1 backwards, I've simply taken both of my steps backwards. Yeah? So with my left foot, again a small step, I go back and close, back and close. Quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. Again, making sure that my steps are small and not going too big. So if I go too big, you're going to keep your weight on your front foot and you're not going to actually take your foot off. And what ends up happening is people go quick, quick, and they don't know where the slope was supposed to go. Quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. Yes? Okay, good. This is called back and back. And when I have a partner, I'll show you how that's going to be a little bit different. Okay, so let's put this together. Basic, forwards and backwards, twice. Side to side, twice. And then we're going to go back to a basic first, and then we're going to go into the back and back. So we've got 3 steps, we're going to put them all together. Okay, from the beginning, starting with your left foot, we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, side to side. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Now back to the basic. 1, 2, 3. Now back and back. Left back, right back, left back, right back, and then into the forward basic or wherever else. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Good. So this being obviously a YouTube video or a video that is not live, you can always stop at any point, practice for 4 or 5 minutes, and then come back and just pick it up from there. So I'm just going to condense things a little bit. Obviously, if you want to get the full effect, you can come out to the classes once we start up again. Yes. Okay, good. Next, we're going to do a step I call opening out. So we're going to open out from left to right. So this one, I'll demonstrate it for you. It looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. So as you can see, I'm opening up a little bit from the left into the right, hence the name. It's just a little variation on the back and back action, and it kind of has a little bit of more of an authentic feel. Sometimes I see people dancing salsa and just doing that kind of an action right off the bat. Yeah, so this is kind of the precursor to that kind of I think it might even be Mexican style of salsa. Okay, so that one, what's going to happen? We're going to start with our left foot, and now instead of going directly to the side, like in my side break, I'm going to turn and open up, about a quarter turn. Doesn't have to be too much, yes? And then I come back to the center. Same thing on the other side. I step out to the right, and then I come back to the center. I don't need to do a full quarter turn with my whole body. Oftentimes I see guys, what happens is they come out to the side, and they take forever, and they feel kind of blocky because it looks blocky. My upper body can stay almost facing my partner. I'm just going to turn a little bit slightly with my shoulders, open up my feet, and keep it a little bit more casual. So I can keep my eye on my follower if I want. I don't have to completely open up like this, yes? It just slows us down. It looks kind of funny. Okay, good. So we're going to put that in there. So, basic twice, side to side twice, back to a basic, transitioning into back and back, and then from the back and back, we're going to go directly into this step, the opening out from left to right. Okay, you'll see what's happening. Okay, from the top. Here we go. Left foot going forwards, we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, now side to side. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, back to basic step. 1, 2, 3, now back and back. Back, back, back. Now open out left, right, left. Then back to the basic, 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. Yes. Okay, we got a lot, but I think we can do it. I'm going to put the music back on. Let's try it with the rhythm, get a little practice. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5,
Basic.
6, 7. 1, 2, 3.
Now back and back, left foot.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3.
Opening out.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3.
Back to basic.
5, 6, 7. 1, 2,
So this is obviously like a little sequence of steps. I put it together in that order. It doesn't mean that you would necessarily have to do that. It's just an option. But it's kind of good because they go kind of sequentially from one to the next. The last big step that we want to understand in the beginner level is what we call an underarm turn, or just turns in general. They don't necessarily need to be an underarm anytime we turn. Now the good news is that both the man and the woman, the lead and the follow, are going to turn in exactly the same way. So if I just demonstrate it for you first, what happens with the turn is I have 3 steps to get myself around. This is going to be a turn to the right. So watch this. I go 1, 2, 3. Full 360, 3 steps. Should be 2 more than we technically lean. Yeah, so with my left foot, I take a small step forwards, 1. I pivot, half turn, replace my weight to my right foot. That didn't move, hopefully, is 2. Now I'm going to swivel and close my feet, 3. And here I am back where I started from, so I know I did it. So once again, I have 1, swivel, 2, pivot, 3. Now, since I did my first 3 steps as a turn, I still have the back part of my basic that I have to do, which would be with my right foot, 5, 6, 7. Yes? So I'm going to do it now with the back part added onto it, and a basic first. So here's the flow. 1, 2, 3, 5. Now I turn. 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. Again, basic step. Here comes the turn, step, swivel, pivot, and 5, 6, 7. Yes? So again, doesn't matter if you're lead, doesn't matter if you're follow, this is how it's going to be done. We're going to give it a few tries. Yeah? So we're going to throw this into the mix. And what's going to happen? After our opening out, we're going to have to go back to one basic before we actually go into it. So I'm just going to take it back 1 step. The step we did before this, which was our opening out from left to right. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. One basic to cleanse the palate. Here comes the turn. 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. Yeah? That might take a little bit longer, and ladies, you might get a better feel for it. Sometimes guys have an issue with that turn. I'm going to show you a little kind of a different way of doing this turn that's going to make it easier if people have a problem with the swiveling action. Yeah? So the way I showed you is a good way to go. Because when you step forwards, you're staying in line with your partner, you pivot, and you close. This assures that I stay right on the spot the whole time. But there's another way of doing it. I could still take my 3 steps, but I don't have to be so precise. So if I want to do my basic step, and maybe I just need to take 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. Huh? That's easier. Yes? Okay, so this is an option, especially if you have a problem with swiveling for whatever reason. So if I just do it from behind here, I just need 3 steps. So I would go 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, and then still do my 5, 6, 7. Either one is fine. And when I have Jenny come back in here, I'll show you how that can work. Yes? Okay, good. All right, so I think that's probably the majority of the steps that I'm going to want to do in the beginner class. So I think what we'll do now is you can stop the video and practice those a little bit and always go back to it. But I think at this point I want to actually start talking about partnering and how we lead and follow. Yeah, so I'm going to have Jenny come on back in here. Okay, so salsa being a partner dance mostly, we need to understand how is it that I'm going to let her know what it is I want her to do. So first things first is how do I frame up with my lady? So I'm just going to turn here for a second. Gentlemen, you're going to take your right hand, place it on the lady's left shoulder blade just like that. Yes? Hands up nice and high under here, nothing down there too much. Up here, very good. She's going to gently relax her arm on mine, elbow to elbow if possible, doesn't matter. The point is I want connection there. When I move my body, I move her with me. Yes? This quite often happens where the gentleman drops his elbow. Yes? And now the lady's got a lot of information that she can't feel. So here I want the contact, but not too heavy. This hand here, I clasp it, and I just bring it in the middle of us here. So generally speaking, this hand wants to be no higher than eye level than the shorter person. Yes, so whoever that is, make sure that it doesn't get up too high. Yes, right down here. Good. Lovely. So this is my frame, aka steering wheel. Whoever the leaders are, this is how they're going to let the followers know what it is that they want them to do. So, now that I have my follow with me, follows are going to start with their right foot. Okay, so leads, you still have your left foot free. Follows, you now have your right foot free. Good. Now what's going to happen, I'm going to start by going forwards, and she's just essentially starting on the back half of her basic. 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you see how that works. So whenever I'm stepping forward, she's stepping backwards. we both close our feet in the middle. And if you'll notice that I'm not getting any closer to her or further away, okay, because we're keeping our own distance, yes? So if I step, this is usually what a problem happens, is a guy goes like this. Yes? Yes. So what happens is I've moved my foot, but I haven't moved my frame with me. I need to move my frame simultaneously as I move my foot, so she can feel through my frame. She's not attached to my feet, so she doesn't know what's going on, yes? She can't feel anything. Yeah? All right. But then all of a sudden I connect it, and now she understands what's going on, okay? Now ladies, you're 50% of the frame as well. So, keep your right arm a light tone to it. We do need to do a lot of things with this arm, and it's going to move quite a bit. But if I push into her hand, she's going to keep it locked so that if I push, she moves back, yes? There's never a situation where I want to push and it just goes like this. That doesn't make sense. So the ladies have a very important role as well to keep that right arm toned. Okay, if we can both do this, we're going to be all right. So, basic step, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. Good. Now, I'm going to go to the back here for a second. This hand on the back. Now I'm going to go from left to right. I'm going to do my step number 2, which is the side break. This hand is going to let her know by indicating this direction. I bring her back, we close. And I use my hand to bring her slightly to her left and close. So if I just do it on my own, again, she can't feel anything, even though I feel like I'm doing well. I have to bring her with me so we can do it together. Yes? That's it. So it's your hand on the back. Yes? It's not this guy. Yes? It's not left and right and left. This is just too herky-jerky. Yes? So it's the hand on the back. So she can feel it. You won't see it, but trust me, she can feel that. Yes? Okay. Follows. You have to give the leaders a bit of a break. Okay, the leaders have a lot more things to think about. So sometimes it takes leaders a lot, maybe 3 times as long to sort of learn to dance because of what's going on. I kind of think about it as like driving a car. So the leader's the one driving and the follower is more of a passenger, sort of just getting to enjoy the ride. But the leader has to think, gas, brake, honk, where are we going to go, how are we going to get there? Yeah? So as a result, you might not feel the frame as perfect as it should be at first. Why? Because the leader's still thinking about his feet, okay? So as long as we get comfortable with our footwork first, this is why I say we need to practice on our own, then I have some extra brain cells that I can put towards the actual frame itself, yes? Good, okay. Then I go side to side, boom, boom, that's it, boom, good. And so the best thing that can happen is that the follows can give us a little bit of feedback, yes? Yes, that was good. No, it's too much. Whatever. Whatever the case may be. This is how we're going to learn, okay? All right, good. Now, here's the big thing. Step number 3 was the back and back. But with the back and back, we can't really do it from a closed position. It doesn't quite feel right because we're too confined by our frame. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop to a 2-hand hold. So a 2-hand hold is a lot of steps that happen from a 2-hand hold, okay? So what's going to happen? We first have to understand how do we get from here to a 2-hand hold. So I'm going to do my basic, and at any time during my basic, I can simply drop to a 2-hand hold, yes? So this can be challenging right off the bat even, yes, to go back from closed position and go to a 2-hand hold. That's going to take a little bit of time because your feet are doing one thing, and now you have to think about your arms, so that's going to take a little bit, okay? All right, but watch what's happening here. You'll notice that when I drop to my 2-hand hold, I'm no further away from her or towards her. We stay the same distance the whole time. Yeah, so it's important that when I drop my hand, I don't feel like, oh, I've got to give her all this room. That's not going to work, okay? Or the other thing is, from a 2-hand hold, sometimes we feel like we have to go and pick her up, and I rush towards her to grab her. Yes? Not necessary. Everything can just stay exactly how it is. So this is going to take some practice. Once you're comfortable with this, now we can do the back and back. So from here, this is my new frame. So I don't have the advantage of the hand on the back anymore. So ladies, arms toned, elbows, we like to say, don't allow them to go past your sides. That's going to be breaking the frame there. If I'm here, and I want her to step backwards, I give her a little indication by pushing into those hands. And because when she felt that, she pushed back slightly, we were able to keep our hands in the center of our body, and that's exactly how we want it, yes? So it's subtle. So I'm not going to do a big push, obviously that's not going to work. But I need to go back as well. So I push against her knuckles just gently. She pushes against my hand, and that allows us to go back. Now there's also a little bit of a recoil because of our fingers here. So as we go back, there's also a little pull. So we have a little push-pull. And that's that nice little connection. It's with both hands, but you can feel that, yes? That's the idea. Those leading things are going to take a little bit to get used to, but if you have a partner, this is the kind of things that you want to work on. And the better you know your steps, the more you can actually think about the lead and follow, yes? Okay, very good. So that's our back and back. Now from there we did our next step, which was opening out. So when I do the opening out, it's always going to be to my left first. So I'm going to open left and right, and left and right. So you see, obviously, to open up, I have to release one of her hands, yes? So as I'm doing my basic, instead of stepping towards her, I'm going to give her that little indication, but then also open up a little bit. Now this hand here is going to bring us back here. And then I open up to the other side, and then back here. And ladies also visually can see what we're doing. So usually, even if the first one doesn't go too well, they catch on the second one, and they get right in there. Now when I've had enough of this, I'm going to hold on with both hands, and then step forwards back into her body. So even numbers of movements are what we want to do. In other words, I'm going to do left and right, that's 1. Left and right, that's 2. After I do that, I know I have the proper foot free. So I've got left and right. There. At this point I can finish. But might as well do another one. Left and right. Good. As soon as my left foot's free, that's when I can transition back to the basic or go into something else, yes? What I don't ever want to do is do just one and then try to go into something else. So always even number. Good. Okay. Underarm turns. Okay, so underarm turns can be done in 2 ways. From this closed position like this, what's going to happen in salsa, it kind of has a unique way of letting the ladies know that there's going to be an underarm turn. And this has to do with flow of body eventually. What's going to happen is this hand here is going to come downwards and then back up. And this gives her advanced notice that she's going to turn. So as opposed to going 1, 2, 3, and quite quickly, which is a little bit jarring, this 1, 2, 3 action that I'm going to do is going to let her know. See, already she knows that she's going to turn, and there she goes, and then I pick her back up. Yes? So that indication is always on 1, 2, 3. So this is 1, 2, 3. She turns 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. Hand goes down and up. Around she goes. 1, 2, 3. And 5, 6, 7. Good. So this arm, yes, it's maybe come a little bit closer here if we can. So what's happening is that it's going a slight little semicircle inwards like this, but then back up. And do you notice where it's gone? It's gone up here. Okay. So in other words, I don't want to bring the hand from the eye level down and then back to eye level, because she's not going to be able to get under there unless she's going to limbo. Yes. So I'm going to bring it down and up, and now she can go through. Yes, okay? So be gentle. This is just a small little action. It doesn't have to be huge. Boom. And then we finish it off. Yes? Okay. This is going to take some getting used to. Okay, gentlemen, less is more. I give an indication to my partner to do an underarm turn. My partner does it. I don't actually physically turn her. So when I've gone 1, 2, 3, she knows what she's supposed to do. She's going to go. I'm going to keep dancing. She's done. I do not crank the arm around or try to do anything like this. This is not necessary. It will probably just throw them off balance. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Down and up. Nothing. See? Nothing. I've got contact, but I'm just letting her do her thing. Yes? Okay. Gentlemen, I see this all the time. 1, 2, 3. And he doesn't move. Yes? He's just enjoying the view, didn't actually do anything, and then he's tap dancing to try to catch back up. So we need to keep dancing. Yeah? So as she's turning, I'm just doing the back half of my basic. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, and 5. Okay, so that's kind of important things to do with that.
May I add something for the ladies?
Please.
So ladies, when we're initially learning our turn, something that I've noticed on occasion is when we get the indication, remember it's always on your forward step that you start your turn. So just because you've got the indication, let that back part of your step complete before you go into your turn. So don't be in too much of a rush.
Yes, it's true. Especially with faster salsa songs, sometimes the ladies are so pranged about when it's going to happen that as soon as he touches it, she wants to go. So in this particular instance, the ladies always turn on 5. So if we're counting properly, it's on 5. So 1, 2, 3, there's the 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay, very important. Good. Okay, Now, we can also do an underarm turn, or turns in general, from a two-hand hold. So the only difference is, because my hand is already down, I obviously don't need to do too much down and up, but it's still going to happen. So if I'm dancing here from my two-hand hold, I'm still going to have a 1, 2, 3, and a 5, 6, 7, boom. So I still want that nice flow. So down and up, around it goes, and boom. Yes? So that's the only difference. It's a little more obvious when it's up here, because it's going to come down. But either way, it works just fine. A little down and up. Good. At the end of the day, it's just giving her advance warning so she can do what you're asking her to do. Good. Okay. Let's put it all together. Okay? So, from the beginning, we'll just demonstrate it first, and then we'll try it all together. So, we have basic. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Now side to side. Use my hand on her back. Bring her with me. Now I go back to a basic first. Now during this, you can take one basic, maybe it's going to take 10 basics, but I just want you to get to a two-hand hold, keep dancing, yes? Good. Now this is my new frame, so I'm going to make sure that I've got a little bit of a tone happening. Now, after one basic, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Giving her that little indication with my frame, just gentle. Like I said, you can't see it, you shouldn't really be able to see it, but she can feel it, and she'll give us that idea. Now, from the opening out, I'm going to go directly into the opening out. As my left foot is free, open out. Boom. Boom. And again, I can do this as many times as I want. When the time comes, I'm going to hold both hands and simply step into her. So to finish something off, I'm always stepping towards the lady. She knows it's done. And now I can do my underarm turn from this two-hand hold. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And at this point, I can either go back to a closed position and repeat the whole thing, or we can do the man's turn. So this is a little bit of a bonus thing. I don't necessarily teach this in all the beginner classes, but if it goes well, we're going to do a she goes, he goes. Okay? Actually, she goes, he goes, she goes again. So I'll just demonstrate it for you. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Ha! I did a turn, but if you notice, I didn't go under the arm. So it's not an underarm turn. I switched my hand behind my back. So now I have my right hand to her right hand. No problem. I can switch back to normal there, or I can just use this hand and turn her the same direction she turned the first time with my right hand. And then at this point, I can go back to the basic. So I'll just try that one more time. So I start by turning my lady. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. As soon as I see her bright smiling face, I know I can go. Not before that. Now I go. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to lift the hand. 5, 6, 7. Now if all goes well, you'll still have a right to right hand hold. That's okay. You just go back to the beginning like this. Switch it out on the fly. Yes? Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Down and up. She goes. I go. She goes. Back to closed. And 5, 6, 7. Yes? Okay. This is a lot already. Like I said, I'm really condensing this into however long it's been, like 20 minutes. But take your time. You can stop the video, practice for 5, 10 minutes, come back to it. So just make sure that you take your time with this. Okay, we're going to do it with music one time from the beginning. Okay. We use a real song this time. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. 1. Now I'm going side to side. 1. 1. Back to basic. 1, 2, 3. Two-hand hold. Now back and back. Push. 1. 5. 1. Straight into the opening out. 1. 5. 1. Hold her hand, step into her, basic. Good. Now I'm going to do the underarm turn for the lady, just hers first. Good. And if you want to turn, gentlemen, and this is we do the she goes, he goes, she goes. And pick her up. Back to the beginning. Yeah? Good. All right, folks, thank you very much. This is, I hope this worked out well, and I hope you could see everything. We'll do our best to try to make things better in the future, but if you can give us any of your feedback and let us know what's happening, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining and coming into our living room. I hope this reaches your living room and brings you a whole lot of joy.
So we have more coming. So this was our beginner class. We also have the improvers class, which we're going to go over in a separate video. Also in the session that we were on before we got interrupted with this stupid virus is the jive, the swing. So we've got those that we're happy to do as well. And if there's anything else that you just want us to do, I'm happy to do it. We've got lots of time. So yeah, I think this is going to help stave off craziness and staying at home all the time. But anyway, it's nice, and I hope it works out for you. See you soon.